Good morning, Your Honour. Case number IT 9513AI. The prosecutor of the tribunal against Mrkšić.
Thank you. May we have the appearances, please, for the prosecution?
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution is represented by myself, Prosecutor Carla Del Ponte, Peggy Kuo, trial attorney, and Diane Bowles, case manager. Thank you.
And any representative for the defense?
Your Honor, the defense shall be presented by Miroslav Vasic. Thank you.
Mr. Vasic, did you receive the necessary documents in preparation of this initial appearance?
Yes, Your Honor. We have received the necessary documents. The accused has received the indictment and he has understood it, and he can enter a plea of guilty or not guilty on each count in the indictment. Perhaps it would not be necessary to read the indictment today, since the accused's health is not very good, and it would be better for him to enter a plea and for this initial appearance to be as brief as possible.
Thank you for this information. But first of all, some questions directed to the accused. Would you please stand up? I should like, first of all, to ask you several questions not falling under the human right of the accused to remain silent. It's for the purposes of your identification only. Would you please state your full name, including all first names and nicknames, for the record?
Your Honors, my name is Mile Mrkšić. I don't have a nickname. My father's name was Dragan, and my mother's name was Evica.
The date and place of birth?
I was born on the 1st of May, 1947, in Kozarec, in the municipality of Vrgi Most.
Are you married? Do you have children?
I'm married and I have 3 daughters.
What was your profession or occupation before you came here?
At the moment I'm retired, but I was an active officer in the army. I was a general, and I was retired as a general.
And finally, the last place of residence?
My last place of residence was the street of Mile Vukomanović, number 1 in Belgrade.
Thank you. Please be seated for a moment. Normally, the indictment should be read out, especially in the interest of the international society that has a right to be informed what is going on in the tribunal and what are the basics of our work. I understand here in this case is a special problem with regard to some health problems by your client. Are the parties prepared to waive the right that the indictment be read out? I can see a nodding from the side of the prosecution, and it was already confirmed by the defense, but I have to ask in person the accused, do you also waive your right that the indictment be read out here today?
Časni sude.
Your Honor, I do waive my right.
Thank you. Then I have to inform you that it is, of course, your right to remain silent. No inference to your disadvantage can be drawn if you remain totally silent. The only inference that can be drawn is the one exception laid down in Rule 62 of our Rules on Procedure and Evidence. If an accused fails to enter a plea at the initial appearance, the judge shall enter a plea of not guilty on the accused's behalf. But I have to warn you at the same time that everything you may say in courtroom may be used even against you in evidence. But it is only fair to tell you also the other side of the coin. It is the general rule in all courtrooms of this globe, and of course in this tribunal, that any kind of cooperation will be for your advantage. In case it will not come to a sentencing stage, it will be in your interest to speed up the proceedings. In case, and I emphasize in case, it would come to a sentencing stage, such kind of cooperation will always be held in your favor. And it's for you to discuss this issue in depth with your defense counsel, balancing all these interests. Did you understand this admonition?
Shvatio sam to.
Yes, I have understood that, Your Honor.
Thank you. As I understood, you have been informed on the contents of your indictment of 2nd December 1997. And therefore we can come immediately to the individual counts. At the end of this indictment, one can read, and I would ask you to stand up and answer immediately after each count whether you are prepared to plead guilty or not guilty. At the end of the indictment it says, by their acts and omissions, Mrkšić, Miroslav Radić, Veselin Slivakanin, a false name has to be redacted on the basis of a former decision of this tribunal, because this person, Mr. Dokmanovic, died. This now remaining 3 persons, including you yourself, are held criminally responsible for beatings. Count 1, grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions of 1949, recognized by Article 2C, willful causing great suffering of the tribunal statute. What is your plea? Do you plead?
Nisam kriv.
Not guilty.
Count 2. Violations of the laws or customs of war, recognized by Article 3, cruel treatment of the tribunal statute.
Nisam kriv.
Not guilty.
Count 3. Crimes against humanity, recognized by Article 5I, inhumane acts of the statute.
Nisam kriv.
Not guilty.
Killings. Count 4. Grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions of 1949, recognized by Article 2A, willful killing of the statute.
Nisam kriv.
Not guilty.
Count 5. Violations of the laws or customs of war, recognized by Article 3, murder of the tribunal statute.
Nisam kriv.
Not guilty.
And finally, count 6. Crimes against humanity, recognized by Article 5A, murder of the tribunal statute.
Časni sude, nisam kriv.
Your Honor, I'm not guilty.
Thank you. Please be seated again. I want to summarize for the registry that you entered a plea of non-guilty on all counts of this indictment of 2nd December 1997. I have to ask you, do you regard it as necessary that anybody, any relevant person, any member of your family is informed about your detention and the whereabouts, how to contact you? Is it necessary?
Časni sud,
Your Honor, my family is informed as I surrendered myself voluntarily. The state I have come from is aware of the fact that I am here, so it is not necessary to inform anyone in particular.
And the other question, because it's a mandatory rule of public international law, is there any embassy or consulate to be informed about your detention?
naš konzulat, ja mislim da informira.
I think our consulate is informed of this, as far as I know, since our country is in contact with the tribunal through the consulate.
Do you want to make any other observations?
Želim da kažem,
I would like to say that my health is not very good because I had 2 operations on the heart, and all these changes have had a negative effect on my condition. So other than that, there is nothing I would like to say. My lawyer will speak for me.
Thank you. And in addition, the question is, of course, the question of the ongoing detention on remand. Until now, we have a warrant of arrest edited in the absence of the accused, and therefore to cure this and to grant the right to be heard, are there any objections at present against ongoing detention?
Your Honor, the defense had the intention of informing the trial chamber of the health condition of Mr. Mrkšić. As he himself has said, he has had 2 operations, 2 serious heart operations, and before coming here, before going to the detention unit, he had to be subjected to post-operative rehabilitation in one of the treatment centers, one of the hospitals. However, he decided not to go to this rehabilitation course in order to appear before the trial chamber on a voluntary basis. But since he has arrived here, his health has deteriorated, probably as a result of the situation in which he finds himself. And the defense, given that it considers that it is very difficult to provide the accused with adequate medical treatment in the conditions that prevail in the detention unit, the defense will attempt by Monday, when it obtains all the necessary documents, will put forward a suggestion for the provisional release of the accused in order to enable him to follow this course in rehabilitation. Although, given what the doctor suggested, he should follow the treatment that the doctor has suggested, and later on he could return to the detention unit,
ako to bude potrebno.
if this is necessary.
I understand you correctly that it's your intention to file a written motion on this issue.
Da časni sud
Yes, Your Honor. I hope that by Monday we will have filed a written submission to that effect.
Thank you. On the basis
Thank you.
of these observations by the parties, today I have to order that the detention has to continue until further order, and of course we expect your contributions, and a pre-trial judge will be assigned as soon as possible to this case. Of course, the question of provisional release, when it then will be raised, has to be answered by the entire trial chamber 2, composed of the 3 permanent judges. Any other issues to be discussed today?
Yes, Your Honor, just to inform about the disclosure. We give to the Defense Counsel this morning supporting material in English, but we will transmit this afternoon the translation in BCS. So all material is available, so we will be able to transfer all the documentation in the 30 days as in the rules. Yes, about provisional release, Your Honor, we expect the written request, and we will see the doctor's expertise. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, and of course you will understand that the trial chamber also would appreciate to get the same supporting material, that we have the basics for our decision. But I think in this case, first of all, it's a question to decide on whether it's responsible to have the accused on ongoing detention on remand. But first of all, we should have a good basis for the decision. First of all, the documentation by the doctors. Then I think I can't see any other observations. We can conclude, and whenever there should be a problem, please don't hesitate to contact the judges immediately. We are for your service. Thank you.
All rise for Yevu Lefe.